to Collide. We are so pumped you're here. If I haven't met you yet, my name's Erica, this is Allie, and this is Tyler, and we are going to play the game Speak Out. So what's gonna happen is Allie and Tyler are gonna be on a team, and then me and Sam are gonna be on a team, and it's gonna be leaders versus students. So you guys let us know in the chat who you think is gonna win. But what they have to do is each team has their Sam. Sam says we're gonna win, that's Sam. What's gonna happen is each team will have 1 minute to try and guess as many phrases correctly as they can, and the team that gets the most wins. Are you guys ready? Mm-hmm. We're gonna win, it's gonna be great. Okay, let's go.
Dumb Beatles. Dumb
Beatles.
Want to kiss.
Want to kiss.
Famous people.
Famous Beatles. People.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Dougs.
Hello, Dougs.
Hello,
Bugs.
Hello.
Fellow Bugs.
Sniff.
Sniff.
Red.
Red.
Like red.
Red.
Dread.
Dread.
No. Dread.
Bread.
Trails.
Trails. Yeah.
Okay. Wilder.
Wilderness.
Little dirt.
Dirt.
Dirt. Rote. Wilder.
Rote.
Rote.
Little.
Wilder. Can I skip? I skip. What is this? What is the game's name?
What is the game's name?
Piranha.
Piranha.
Hooking.
Hooking.
A
Parakeet.
parakeet. Only dykes and bonnets her knee.
Whoa, chill. Chill. Whoa. Wow. What did you just say?
Okay, Allie and Tyler got 4. I'm pretty positive we can get at least 6, but you guys let us know how many you think we're gonna get.
Ready, set, go.
Only likes.
Only likes.
Only.
Only likes.
Ikes.
Only Ikes. Mikes.
Ikes.
Bikes. Only
And-
bikes.
And.
And.
Onnets.
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 Helmets. Only bikes and helmets.
Onnets.
Bonnets. Only bikes and
For me.
bonnets. For me.
Make a secret code
Make a secret code
for squirrel curls.
for squirrel girls.
Curls.
Curls.
Kills.
Kills.
Quills.
Quills.
Yeah. Alright. Massive meatloaf
Massive meatloaf.
makes me mad.
Makes me mad.
Yes. Rather than
Rather than.
row
Row.
the
Van.
van home
Home.
before
Before.
the
The.
octopus goes.
Octopus goes.
Enchanted otters
Enchanted otters.
paint
Paint.
on forest trees.
On forest trees.
Yeah.
Yes!
This is hitting the camera.
Oh, it's time! Oh, we got 5!
We win.
High five. Leaders
Done.
won. Awesome. All right, hey, what's up, everyone? Tonight is our last night of Collide for the year, and I know that's kind of a bummer because it's been a really unique end of the year, totally not what we expected, but our whole goal here at Collide is to help you guys know who Christ is. It's to point students to Jesus, help you develop a relationship with him so you can know the incredible love that God has for us. And throughout the entire year, really, you've heard mostly me talk about that with you guys. And so tonight, to wrap up the year, I wanted to do something just a little bit different. And we wanted you guys to be able to hear from a couple of students about really what it's like to have a relationship with Christ and how it's changed their lives and why they think it's important. And so tonight we are going to interview Allie and Tyler. Why don't you guys just go ahead quick and say what grade you're in and where you're from.
Go ahead.
I'm Allie Reese. I'm a freshman and I'm from Washington.
My name's Tyler Hellman. I'm a sophomore and I'm from Mid-Prairie High School.
Okay, cool. So for our first question, you guys, would you mind just sharing with us how has God changed your life? Allie, why don't you kick us off?
God changed my life because I used to not know him at all. I used to be kind of self-conscious and sad. Like, I was kind of a mean person at one point, and once I started leaning into God and learning who he is and listening to what he had to say about me, I started to become more confident and hopeful and joyful, and I learned how to spread that onto other people instead of just making them feel worse about themselves.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. I just love the joy that Christ gives us when we have a relationship with him and just the wholeness that we get to feel when we have that relationship. That's awesome. Tyler, what about you?
I grew up and I'm still growing up in a Christian home where God has always been there for me and my family. I feel like in one way that he has changed my life, he has shown me people that are very important to me. They're really important role models that I look up to and possibly that I would want to be or show to other people one day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and just to share my answer with you guys as well, Christ has changed my life in so many ways. I remember when I was in high school at almost exactly your age, I was about 16, when I decided to take my faith seriously. I had grown up going to church as well, but hadn't really cared much about how my actions really affected my faith and stuff like that. And I remember my youth group at the time was really what changed it for me. And once I started to actually live my life for Christ, I noticed just a huge difference in my attitude and the way I treated others. And like you guys mentioned already too, it just gives you so much more joy and so much more love and just a sense of wholeness as well. Okay, cool. So for our next question, I just want to ask you guys, why do you think a relationship with God is so important, like right now, even in middle school and high school? Why do you think students shouldn't just wait until they're older?
I think it's important to start a relationship right now because I feel like in your teen years, when you're young like this, you need a lot of support and you need people in your corner rooting for you. And sometimes you rely on your friends or your family to do that, but it doesn't work out. Sometimes they don't fill you up with joy. Sometimes they bring you down, and you need somebody to be consistent and always be there for you. And I think God's the perfect person for that. So He'll always be there for you when you're young, even if other people aren't. And you can grow your relationship and start now so that it's even stronger later.
Awesome. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Allie. I feel like to start the understanding of a relationship and with you and him is very important. But I do get that it's hard. You know, some people go through rough times during middle school and high school. I mean, there's mean kids, there's the good kids. Sometimes it's hard to find that balance. So I've always just been going to God. Having a relationship with Him is just super important, especially growing up and growing out of high school and into college and having your own life. It's good to always have someone there for you.
Yeah, for sure. That's so awesome. I think for me, one of the reasons that I think a relationship with Jesus is so important, now in middle school and high school, instead of just waiting until you're older, is because it's such valuable time. Your middle and high school years are so incredibly important. They shape who you are in such a big way. And I am just so thankful that I actually decided to start taking my faith seriously when I was in high school, because it really prepared me for my future. It prepared me for the incredible things that God had for me. And I'm positive that if I wouldn't have loved Christ in high school, that if I wouldn't have had a relationship with Him, I would have missed out on so many of the incredible things that He had planned for my life. I don't think I'd have the job that I have now. I don't think I'd have the relationship with my parents and my sister and brother-in-law that I have now, or the friends that I have. And there's, we've kind of talked about again, I just always go back to the joy and peace that we have in Christ. There has just been so much joy for me in my high school years specifically when I started to take that relationship seriously then. And as you all know, joy is something we desperately need, especially in middle school and high school, because our world is just so full of anxiety and depression and fear and worry. And so middle school and high school are some of those most pivotal years where that's the strongest. And so for me, it was just knowing that if I would have waited, my middle and high school years would have been so much more depressing, so much less joyful, so much more filled with anxiety and fear and worry. And I'm just so thankful that I didn't have to live that way then. Okay, so I have one more question for you guys. How do you grow in your relationship with God, and why is it important?
Ways that I consistently grow my relationship with God is through prayer, reading the Bible, or devotions on the Bible app, worship, and I journal a lot. I know a lot of people don't do the journaling part, but that's huge for me. I love journaling. And it's important to do those things and grow your relationship with God. And even though it's hard sometimes, even though it kind of feels like He's just not there sometimes, it's important to grow it because over time, even if you feel like He's not there, or if He is there, you'll grow your faith, and you need a strong faith to get through the crazy life we're all gonna live. So it's important to grow it while we can, and do the things we can even when we don't feel like He's there.
Yeah, for sure. That's so awesome. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with you again, honestly. Reading the Bible, praying, like you said, journaling maybe, worshiping, pretty much all that. I do have to say, sometimes for boys, it gets a little hard, and girls too, really. But I think the best thing to do, I know some of the boys, some of the younger boys, it's hard, and you know, the younger kids. But if you're in high school or something, set a routine, like a daily routine, like read a chapter a day of the Bible, and then after that, pray for a little while. Just pray for other people. But another thing to add is I would say talking to friends about your life and your relationship with God. That's always good to chat and to listen to. So.
Yeah, that's so awesome. You guys are so great. Gosh, you make me feel like I need to spend more time with Jesus than I do, which we all do. But anyways, no, I'm so with you guys on all of those answers. I know, like Tyler, you especially mentioned, and you too, Allie, but you talked about how sometimes it is really hard. Like sometimes we're tired, and so we don't want to pray, or we fall asleep praying at night, which is always a bad thing, but I do that. I fall asleep praying sometimes. Or we just feel kind of blah and we just don't want to. Or maybe like a hard situation is coming up and so we don't feel like we can trust God anymore, or like he's not really there for us sometimes. And so I have kind of a surprise question. I didn't plan this with them. But how do you guys push through those difficult times to still connect with God, even when you don't feel like it?
So like I said kind of earlier, sometimes I feel like he's just not there. And it's like a drought, like I'm just on my own. Yeah, and he's not there. And ways that I keep trying to get to him, trying to grow my relationship with him is, like you said earlier, a routine. I try and read a chapter or a devotion or something, and sometimes I have to like write myself a little note that says, I don't know, a Bible verse or something that just reminds me that he is there. And even though he might be quiet, he's still there. He's still working for the good of me and all the other people.
Yeah, I agree with you, Allie. Honestly, what I do is sometimes I read the Bible on my phone just about every day. I read like a chapter or two just on my own time, and I feel like if I'm busy or if it's late at night and I just want to go to bed, I'll just read the daily verse and I'll kind of just get an understanding of it, really, and just kind of pray about it, how it makes me feel, and just get closer to God, really.
Yeah,
So.
that's awesome. I love that you guys are so consistent and you try so hard to like continually keep that rhythm up with God, even if it's in a different way than maybe before, in those times when you're kind of like don't feel like it, or you know, stuff like that. One of the things that I do when I just don't feel like it is I'll like switch up my rhythm some. So kind of like you talked about, Tyler, if I've been reading like a chapter a day, I'll maybe switch it to a verse a day and then throw in some worship songs instead. Or I'll watch a message, or listen to a podcast, or do a Devo instead if I'm like just sick of reading the Bible word for word. And it's okay if you feel like that sometimes. Like I feel like that sometimes all the time. So it's okay if you're kind of not feeling like you get a ton of joy or excitement about cracking open your Bible every day. Just don't be afraid to switch it up. I guess that'd be my encouragement. So awesome. Well, that is all the questions I have for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking with all of Collide about how we can have a relationship with God and why it's so important. Collide, we are so excited you've joined us this year. We are going to miss you so much, but stay tuned on our Instagram page because we are going to be doing some super fun events this summer as soon as COVID lets us. We are going to get back together doing all sorts of fun, like color wars, maybe a pool party, I don't know, but it's going to be super great, so don't Sam! Okay, Sam was making funny faces. Sorry. Back on topic. So we're gonna do super fun events this summer, so don't miss out. We can't wait to see you guys later. Have a great rest of your summer. Hey, what's up, everyone? Take that.
Wasn't prepared, Tyler.
I love you. We're doing a blooper reel after this. It's gonna be great. Okay. You guys can't make a noise because it'll pick up in the mic.
Hey.
So we're gonna do ours now. Give us a second. Okay. Ow.
And grow. So
That's good. I'll just cut it out at growing.
I don't know what I was doing.
What are you doing?
Oh my God! And I'm like,
I was looking at you.
That was for them.
You messed me up though.
Everybody looked at you.
I was smiling, and then I'm like,
I was like, yeah, and I looked at you.
I'm literally gonna like say your name and laugh, and then be like, Sam was making funny faces. Back. Okay. Boom.
peace out.
We're done.